to joke immediately after sex. I've never believed there needs to be a gentle gazing period afterwards. I feel like sex is done and it's joke time. It's just a foolish time period after sex. Like you just did these series of ridiculous things together and now you're just laying there. Men, their bodies were important. 20 minutes ago, you had this powerful sexual man body and now you're just sort of running those flaccid post-sex errands around the room and just grabbing washcloths. There's no dumber time in all of life than the local errands that suddenly need to be run. Just turns into this naked fetching period. And then you're just wiping each other down like snow off a car. You just realize how foolish everything is. We just got married a couple months ago, and thanks. Thank you. I don't know about weddings. I'm not like one of those wedding I realize that's not a term, but I don't care about stuff like that. Like I needed like a controlling bitch in my family that would just take over, that had strong opinions about flowers. And my mom was like no help because she's just too jazzy and liberal. Like I'd call up my mom and I'm like, Mom, what do you do with like table settings? And she'd just be like, celebrate diversity, and hang up the phone. I'm like, that's... Like the day before the wedding, she just texted me, strong women rock. I'm like, that's too broad, actually. It's not helpful. And then we would go to these meetings and they would ask me questions. I never knew like what I was supposed to say. This woman goes, so what's your color story for your day? Like, that's a disgusting question. That's gross. And I don't know what that means. I'm like, I don't know. Do they have Jaeger? And she goes, what colors make you happy? Even that infuriates me. Like, how dumb do you have to be that you're having a shit day and it just takes a color to turn things around for you? What kind of wild moron is just sad until they see periwinkle blue? That didn't even work in, like, the olden days. Like, you know, I was clinically depressed, Morris, until I saw a flash of yellow on that school bus. And then I thought, maybe I won't stick the sock in the old exhaust pipe tonight after all. For me, it takes so much more than a color to make me happy. It takes like a specific cocktail of like drugs and compliments to make me feel good. And my husband is like worthless with compliments. Like on our wedding day, I'm walking down the aisle and he's like, bringing it. I'm like, that's not, simply won't suffice. He goes, they did a good job with the makeup. I'm like, you're not supposed to notice that. That's like saying, I like the active lie they plastered on your face for this special occasion. We should tip her big for what she was able to do. My goodness. And then she goes, what do you want to do for your first look pictures? I didn't know what that was, but I guess before the wedding, they make the groom sort of stand in front of the bride and then they just turn her around and have him behold her. I'm so embarrassed for whoever came up with that. I mean, he's already slept with her several times. It's not a reveal. I told him, I was like, when they turn me around, you should just be like this, like... Just look at me like a bad omen, just like, no Jewish, please. And he's a fireman, so now I'm a fire wife. That's actually not a term. They've asked me to stop saying that. But the weird thing about firemen is they actually love the fires. I didn't know that, but they don't like to miss a fire. So he comes on the road with me and he has this app on his phone and he'll just read me the fires he's missing from the bed. It's such a strange experience. He'll be like, look at this, babe. Beautiful job. That's a healthy fire right there. I'll be like, lot of orange. 1075, fire on the 3rd and 4th floor. That's probably ladder 7, engine 34, responding right now. I'm like, I'm a person, not a walkie. I don't know what you want me to do with any of this information, really. He's like, no, that feels fair. I hear you. 10-4. And on our wedding night, I had to pack a lot of specific outfits. I feel like a lot of guys get turned on by like something they saw around the time of their first wet dream. They're always trying to like recreate like something a teacher was wearing the very first time their dick moved slightly, you know? And I'm just kind of like, let it go. Like, you're never gonna get back there. Like, every time we hook up, he's like, can you just put on these corduroys, lean against this overhead projector, and clap some erasers together. He said, I think I can get hard if you just clap him at the right pace, like Miss McCullough did. He's like, I'm getting closer. Just quick outfit change, if you don't mind. Could you just dress like a school nurse and ask me what I ate today, please? Use the term cold compress and put your hair in Princess Leia buns. Oh, shit, I ejaculated. You don't need anything, do you? I'm like, no, I think I'm all set over in my court. I'll just change out of my orthopedic nursing shoes and circle back with you in the living room. He's like, that sounds good. 10-4.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Hilarious. Rachel Feinstein.